BookCon 2026, let's talk about it. Before this video officially begins, there are a few key things that I would like to note. Based off of these things, you may not like this video. Number one, for BookCon 2026, I had a VIP ticket. Not a premium VIP ticket, but I did have the VIP experience. Number two, I used ADA on day 2, not day 1. This was because I had misunderstood and thought that ADA was only for physical disabilities. For some reason, now looking at it, I don't know why I thought that. That was solely a miscommunication on my part, not at all from BookCons. And so I did get an ADA wristband to use on day 2 due to being autistic. I do qualify for ADA programs in multiple other places. Number 3, I have zero connection to any publisher, publishing house, author, anything like that. This review does not get me anything. I feel like I'm on the stand. This is the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and I will not hold anything back. Number 4, this was my first con ever. So yes, this was not only my first BookCon, but it was also officially my first con ever. The only other con I've been to was one day of MegaCon in Orlando this year, but I'm not fully counting that because I was only really there for one reason, so I didn't really explore the con too much. And number 5, I had a fantastic time. Sure, are there things that could have been better? Absolutely, and we're going to talk about them. But that's with any event ever. There is no event that is going to be perfect, especially not one that is returning for the first time in 6 years. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more later. There are also going to be timestamps in this video because this is not only a sit down and talking video, this is also partly a vlog. So there are going to be timestamps throughout the video. Check them out in the description that you can jump to different sections if that's what you want to see. If you want to watch the whole video, I would appreciate you, but it's totally fine. You don't have to. Here we are at section number 1. This is about reservations. So yes, for BookCon 2026, there were many things, panels and signings included, that did require reservations. Being a VIP member, I did get early access to reservations on March 17th at about noon. I went in with low expectations because I didn't know how it was going to be. I ended up getting 9 reservations, and out of those 9 reservations, 5 of them were in the time slots for the authors that I had been hoping for. If you would like to see what the reservations process literally looked like as I was doing it, here you go. Good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, what day is it? It is Tuesday, March 17th. Today is reservation day for BookCon for VIP tickets, and I have 2 minutes until this starts. I have the screen up as well as my plan of, I have my top pick and then the other picks I want to do in order for all of these. So Tahira Mafi is my number 1. Frankly, obviously Tahira Mafi, Tracy Deonn, and Veronica Roth are my top 3. But even if I just get Tahira Mafi, I'm thrilled. We'll see if this stays. We have less than a minute. Here we go. I gotta stay calm. It also says I will be assigned a random place in line. So I don't know where exactly I'll be. I feel like I'm going to battle. This is crazy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm in line. When it's your turn, you'll have 10 minutes to enter the website and begin the process. Okay, progress bar is moving. My estimated wait time is 20 minutes. There's 301 people ahead of me. Oh dear God. My estimated wait time just dropped. Oh God, it's go time. Now it says 4 minutes. It dropped from 15 to 4, and now it's going between 4 and 5. So we're close. And it's only 12:04. It was accidentally pulled up on my phone too, and that one said there were like 1,200 people ahead of me. So I closed out of that. Even if there were genuinely 300 people in front of me, I hope they all wouldn't have the exact same lineup I did. This is very stressful. It's exciting, but it's stressful. Come on, 2 minutes. 1 minute. Okay. The bar is full. Yes, I'm being redirected to the website. What? Wait, no. Now it just had me do a code again. Wait, hang on. Okay, here we go. Done. I got every single author I wanted to see, which is beautiful. About a month later, on April 17th, it was time to travel to the event. So if you would like to see that little travel part, including going to go see a Broadway show, that is our next section. Good morning. It is about 4:35 in the morning. I am awake because I have a 7:30 a.m. flight to head to New York City. Also, sorry, this is my
This is my lighting right now, is my flashlight. Today's gonna be a busy day. It's Friday right now, so BookCon does not start until tomorrow, but rest assured, there is a lot to be done today. So thankfully, since the last time I flew, TSA stuff has calmed down, which is fantastic. My boarding begins at 6:50. That's about 2 hours away from now. Right now, security wait times are showing like 11 minutes for pre-check. It is 5:41, I just made it here. Very interesting, so I usually park at the park and ride, but it was telling me, or it was telling everyone, there was a sign up saying that it was temporarily closed, so I came to the Park ATL Select, which I've never parked here before, but it's still an official parking thing. But anyway, got a spot. I might have gotten one of the last uncovered spots here. Well, this already looks worlds better and worlds easier than last time. There's normal security. Here we are. And we have an early departure, which I love. I made it. I'm on board. I did check my bag, so what's crazy is I did not realize that I accidentally grabbed my middle suitcase, but that's still not a carry-on. I don't know how I didn't realize that, but I didn't. Anyway, but I got to check it here at the gate for free, so that was great. And that way I don't have to deal with it, and since I'm flying Delta, I can track my bags in the app, or I can track my bag, which I really appreciate. Normally I don't get to fly Delta because I don't have that kind of money, but this was actually the cheapest flight when I bought them multiple months ago. Also, I am learning a dance call for a callback on the plane because I have to film it basically when I get to my friend's apartment that I'm staying at. I've made it, heading to get my bag from baggage claim. There's my bag, it's purple. Okay, I'm being told to take the Q70 SBS bus. Should be on arriving in like, I think 7 minutes. I keep following the signs and hoping for the best. I just need to find the spot for, oh, Q70. I made it onto the correct bus, and now I just have 2 stops to go. Okay, I have made it to my friends Lindsay and Sam's apartment. It is 12:05. I am just about to film this dance call because I do know it enough now to actually, film it. And then I'm gonna send it off, and then I think I'm just gonna do some work until it's time for me to head out for my photo shoot because I don't want to risk, I am gonna rinse off already because I'm sweaty, but I don't want to risk getting any sweatier. Okay, my photo shoot with my friend Charlie. Very, very excited. I was successfully early, which is good because I don't know where I'm going.
I need some like moisture wicking clothes this summer.
All right, this is Cassie. This is Lucy. We're here at, oh goodness, Le Petite Village. Yes, we've got some fries, some frites.
Fries, we got fries with aioli.
Yep.
Very salty. If you like fries, you like it. If you don't like fries, you won't. This is my famous actress roommate. I used to read there. Remember her name. It's gonna be everywhere, baby. And I also got a white wine for them.
Love it.
Shout out Rosalina.
Yes, I got a zero proof cocktail, which is absolutely stunning. Destroyed a bread basket, and we have mashed potatoes. So, made it to Times Square. I am on my way to the theater now. We had a great dinner. It was kind of like girl dinner, which was great. And I just caught sight of the theater. There it is. So The Lost Boys is in previews still at the time of recording, but next week it officially opens. This is very fancy. There's an escalator to the top of the theater. And now we make it to section number 3. Dun, da, 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 Saturday, the first day of the event. This was April 18th. Good morning. It is BookCon day 1, and I'm on my way there right now. My hair is a little crazy, but that's okay. It is about 7:23 in the morning. Doors open at 8, so I am on my way to the Javits Center now with my duffel bag of books. The streets are not crazy busy and loud right now, which is really nice. I love the artwork. I heard some people
I think they're exhibitors. So I was like, I'm just gonna follow you guys. For reference, it's like 7:40-ish maybe. I have found the people. Dun, 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 I'm so excited. All right, VIP, I get to go this way. 8 a.m. on the dot, and we are moving. It is 8:24, and I am officially inside with my wristband. I'm heading up to the VIP lounge to drop off my stuff before I go ahead and get in line to see the exhibitor hall, which I believe is right here. VIPs and premium VIPs get first access to the exhibitor hall. It opens at 9 a.m. for us, but it opens at 10 a.m. for everyone else. So with it being 8:26, I'm hoping to get there just in time to go ahead and take a good look around before my first panel. VIPs get a like swag bag of sorts, so I'm really hoping we get a BookCon tote bag, because if not, I'm planning on buying one anyway. But
this line was probably the longest line I waited in for the entirety of BookCon. It was close. It was close with my final signing on day one. However, while I was in line, I had someone very kindly hold my spot for me so I could run over to the VIP complimentary coat and bag check. This was huge. This was my favorite thing about being a VIP, and it made all the difference, was not only having it in the first place, but being able to go back and swap out my books without any additional fee. That was huge. Once I got up to the front of the VIP line, I understood why it was taking so long, and it was that they had to check off everyone physically from a paper to make sure that they had arrived and that they had picked up their bag so that no one would pick one up twice. I don't think this was the best way to do this. I think it would have been better to do it digitally so that you could literally start to type in a person's last name. I don't know if there was maybe something up digitally, but I do think that would have made the process move quicker.
okay, we've got the VIP hall right here. We have Playmaker by Deanna Faison, Bookmark, love, and then we have George Key's It Rhymes with Key. Then what I'm super excited about is this BookCon tote, and it has fun stuff inside. So, looks like, ooh, it's got a mug. That's a very nice mug. Love this. Little notepad. Another bookmark. We've got a bracelet that says BookCon. Gonna put that on in a second. And then, ooh, BookCon pin. Love that. I would buy that normally, so. And then finally, got source books. Oh, 5 book, any ebook, and 15% off entire order. Love it. Truly, this view. Hang on. There we go. There's a complimentary drink station, coffee station, water. Yeah, I really love this lounge. It is 9:19 currently. I am heading to the exhibitor hall right now. I've already checked my bag, so there is VIP coat and bag check that does not cost anything. And I was also told it doesn't cost anything to come back and like trade stuff out, which is my plan. So currently, the only books I have in my bag are the ones for my first signing, and then the ones that I just got there. So my first signing is Veronica Roth. So after her signing, I'm going to come here, trade it out for the next thing of books. That way I'm not carrying around a ton all day. Okay, I've made it. Since I'm VIP, I do get early access. Oh, here's the BookCon shop. So let's do some exploring, shall we? Now, I have saved up money for this. So I don't feel bad about spending money. I have saved up about $450. Checking out the BookCon booth first. Got lots of different, love that, stickers. Oh, the Weekender bag. And I've already spent $83. But let me show you what I spent it on. BookCon plush. That, you can put charms on the bottom of it, and I got the dystopian and found family charms because those are some of my absolute favorites. Even though I already have a pin, I did want to go ahead and get the night reading pin because it says BookCon 2026 and my other one just says BookCon. And then finally, I got the Weekender tote. It was only $30, and it has a zipper at the top, which I really love. something that I'm feeling very appreciative of is that there are plenty of exhibitors here, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. When I was at BookCon, I literally was like, oh my gosh, everywhere I turn, there's booths upon booths upon booths, like stacked on top of each other. Okay, I'm gonna start on the far side, and we've got tea. That's amazing.
You want a bookmark, either red or blue.
Ooh, I'll do blue, please. Thank you. Whoa, look at the LaCroix setup. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Oh my goodness.
You want a sticker?
Yay, thank you.
Whichever one you would like.
Do this one.
Already posted? Oh, perfect.
This is an entire blind date with a book section. Oh my god. Okay, this is incredible. I'm obsessed. Also, for the vlog, I found Bria and her husband Ethan.
Hello.
Yay! There's a whole other exhibitor hall on level 1, so.
Really quickly, I also want to note, I did not try for any ARC drops, period, on day 1 or day 2. That is where a lot of chaos and confusion was for a lot of different people. I cannot speak to that. I cannot speak to that. I'm not even going to try to speak to that because I was not there. I did not try those. Those were not a top priority for me.
I explored level 1 a little bit with Bria and her husband. Now I just went to the VIP coat and bag check again to drop off the BookCon tote bag and all of that stuff that I got. Now I'm heading to my first panel, which starts in about 15 minutes, and it is a spotlight on Veronica Roth. So what I've noticed is I definitely want to take advantage of the early VIP entrance for the exhibitor hall, because with so many people here now, it's a little overwhelming. Now, it's important to note there is no recording or photos allowed during the panels, so I'm not going to be able to show anything, but I'm very excited. I think this goes to show too, so I ended up getting here about 10 minutes early and there's still plenty of seats, and I think it's because there's so much happening at a time. There are so many things happening each hour, tons of them overlap with each other. In this case, I do not need to leave this one early because I head straight to the signing after it, which is Veronica Roth's signing. The queen is here.
This means I was also in the room when she announced the new duology that is Triss in the Divergent world, but from a different, she chooses a different faction. Now here's the thing. I have seen a lot of people online that are like, oh, she's just doing this for a cash grab. Oh, why did she do this? Why did whatever? She talked a lot in that panel about how Divergent, she wrote when she was 24, and how she struggled a lot with that series. Specifically, she started taking in all the negativity that people had told her about the book, and basically it made her dislike her own books solely because that is what other people were telling her that they thought of it. And so she talked about how she's gone through so much therapy to remind herself and to know it is okay for someone to dislike something and for you to like it, for you to be proud of it. And so that panel, I absolutely loved hearing her talk about it because, like a lot of people, do I like how Divergent ended? No. No, I do not like that ending. I still don't really understand that ending. There's Olive. Hi, Olive. However, I really, sorry, cat butt. I really loved getting to hear her speak. She was so incredibly relatable and so funny to listen to. And seeing her announce that new duology, she got emotional and she actually kind of, went into tears and was just saying how big it is of a step for her to be able to return to a universe that caused her so much turmoil in her life. It was, to me, incredibly inspiring.
Signing number 15. This is not bad at all, I think. Where's the end of the line? Hang on. Is this the end of the line? This is the end of the line. So the panel was just about an hour long, and now there's about 3 minutes until Veronica is supposed to begin her signing. Okay, 12:18, and we are moving. I have my personalization sticker on the Divergent book, because that's what I would like to be personalized.
Right after that, I got to meet Veronica Roth. She was my first signing, and she was absolutely fantastic. I loved getting to chat with her. I told her that What really meant a lot to me in the Divergent books was seeing, especially in the first one, how Tris was scared of physical intimacy. That was something that, especially at the time, you really did not see in books, in YA books, and that was really special to me, and it really hit me hard growing up, because now I identify as asexual and aromantic. So even though that was not Tris's journey, that's not where, you know, she ended up, that is still a very real thing. Just that, you know, nervousness and being scared about that aspect of life is very real.
Dun 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 dun! There it is. I love it. You try to play this balancing act, but okay. Now to put them back in their box set, head up to VIP, trade them out. I have to get the special edition here first. That's first. Alrighty, this is where to find the special edition. I just have to find it. Ooh, that looks good. Found it. Ooh, and they've got Release Me, which I just got. Love that. Okay, there are a few panels that I was interested in, but I'm slightly more interested in finding food. So, I'm heading back up to level 3, where there, I believe, is more food. Changing plans. Going up one more level. There's a panel up here that I would like to go to, but I also need to switch out my books. So what's perfect is the panel is right here, about to start in a few minutes, which is a huge room, love that. And VIP coat and bag check is right here. Okay, so I had to forego the panel, which is totally fine. I'm now heading down for my Tracy Deonn book signing. Now I'm carrying Cassandra Clare's and Tracy Deonn, so it's a little heavy right now, but they're only an hour apart from each other. Back down we go to floor number 1, and my hope is that I will genuinely grab something to eat this time.
Then I got to meet Tracy Deonn, who is the author of the Legendborn cycle. She was also fantastic. I got to see her speak at a panel as well, and she was just incredible to listen to. I feel like I learned so much from that panel. She was so very kind. I loved getting to talk with her, and I cannot wait for more books in the Legendborn cycle. Then I got to meet Cassandra Clare, the queen of the Shadowhunters universe herself. I brought my box set of the Infernal Devices trilogy for her to sign. Those are personally my favorite books of hers. She was also fantastic to speak to. She asked me if those were my favorites. I said yes, and she was like, oh, that makes me so happy. She was just absolutely fantastic, and I loved getting to meet her. Okay, I just met Cassandra Clare, got my book signed. I am running upstairs, well, running as best as I can, going upstairs to try and catch the majority of a panel that has to do with YA and dystopian, and that is my favorite genre. Almost there. It is 2:57, so I'm only about 12 minutes late, so I haven't hopefully missed too much of it. Then I headed to the Importance and Impact of Dystopian and Fantasy Fiction Writing panel. I loved this panel. This was with Tahira Mafi and Chloe Gong. Hearing this conversation between them, two such talented, powerful, impactful authors have such a fantastic discussion, was truly, I think, one of my favorite panels of the entire event. So I did have to leave that panel a little bit early because there were 4 different book clubs that happened, and BookCon announced these a few months before the event, and the first 100 people to submit their interest in each of these 4 book clubs got sent a copy of the book in the series. For mine, I got sent a copy of the book in the series, the first book. And then at the event, we got an ARC of the second. For me, I got Ransom Riggs with Penguin Random House. I love Ransom Riggs, and if you don't know, Ransom Riggs is married to Tahira Mafi, so that's awesome. He was so much fun to listen to, and was so entertaining, and just it was such an incredible, you know, there were only, I don't even think all 100 people made it. I will say I had a little bit of trouble finding the room because I went back in my emails and I couldn't find where it had said it actually was. I ended up going to BookCon's website, and that's where I was able to find it. They were checking off names to make sure that anyone coming in was one of the 100 people. I also got a pin, and I got a book plate, and then at the end of it, we got to go up and he signed our books. I got to take a picture with him. Most of BookCon's policy was that no stage photos were being set, but there were actually some authors, Tahira Mafi included, who had no problem at all doing that, and in fact, they encouraged it. I just got out of the event, got my book signed, got to take a picture with him, which was great. Now I'm running up to actually transfer over my books,
before my final signing of the day, which starts at 5. I'm so very thankful the line is not long right now. This is how you know crowds have gone down for the day, because there is no more line to try to get down the escalator. Ransom Riggs is literally up at the front of the line. That's awesome.
Tahira Mafi. She, as I said, she is my #1 author. I know, Shatter Me series isn't for everyone, but I told her about how much I loved her writing, specifically the way she writes Juliet in the first book, and how she grows. We see so much growth in just the way that she thinks and the way that, her point of view is written. And that is fascinating to me. And I loved that so much. It'll forever be one of my favorite series. It left such an impact on me. I loved getting to meet Tahira Mafi. She was so present in the conversation. I really felt like she was listening to me. She was there, she was present, she was in the moment.
It has way slowed down in here. I feel like I can actually walk around just super quickly before I have to go put on my dress for the ball. Oh, the crowns! Oh my god! Well, I bought a crown, but it was only $25 and it's so nice. Nothing quite like changing for a con in the bathroom. But anyway, dress is on, crown is on. So the ball is first come, first serve. It doesn't start until 8. It is 6:48, but I'm just gonna go sit in line. We're about to be let in for the fantasy ball. We have no idea what it looks like, but we'll get first look.
VIP actually had a separate line. Now, I do think this was technically for premium VIP, but when I just said, hey, VIP, they went, yep, that way, and they did not check it at all. When I chatted with some people who were premium VIP, a lot of people who were premium VIP did not feel that premium VIP was worth it. I, from what I heard from them, fully agree with that. I think that VIP is the way to go. For me personally, I don't think I'll ever splurge on premium VIP unless if stuff changes drastically next year. Even those in the general admission line, we all had no issue getting into the ball. I got to be one of the first people, along with some of the other VIPs, because I was maybe like 8th in line to step into the ball. Now, I will say, I do think decorations could have been a little bit more elevated, and I think there could have been, they did have tarot readings going on, and they had people doing poetry, which was really, really neat, and I loved that. I do think maybe to accommodate how many people were there, it would have been great to have 6 of each of those on either side. Because 3 and 3 lines got decently long for those. So I just did the glam bot thing, which was very fun. I was actually the first person to do it, and now I'm coming over because I think they're doing tarot readings. So I want to do that. Okay, so I ended up getting a tarot reading, which was very, very fun, and I loved the guy who was doing it. He was fantastic. I got a picture with him. He's right here. My cards that were saying to really focus on creativity, but also like how my emotions and feelings influence the creativity, really lean into like remembering to rest, even if it's only for like a few hours. So that's really, really cool. It was just great energy, so absolutely loved it. As crazy as it sounds, I was only at the ball for like 30 minutes. So many people, I talked to a lot of people today that were like, hey, I'm not even gonna try because they said limited capacity. Y'all, there is so much more room for people in there. There's tons of space. But anyway, I am actually gonna go change out of my dress. I think change back, I'm gonna change back into my other clothes, and yeah, that's the plan. I've officially been here for 12 hours today, over 12 hours, so I'm feeling good. I'm tired, but I'm feeling good. Overall, I do think it could have been a little bit more, specifically when it comes to decorations, but I also acknowledge I was there on my own. I did not have a group of friends that was with me, and a ball and dance is usually not really my scene. I knew I wanted to go to experience it, but what I did love is that if you didn't want to go to the ball, they also had a pajama party, they had poetry slam, they had bookish bingo, they had so many other, they had a murder mystery, which I think that's what I might do next year. There were so many things going on that really, to me, appealed to a lot of different people's tastes. Now we're at section 4, which is day 2 of the event. This was Sunday, April 19th.
Good morning, good morning. It is BookCon day 2. I got a little bit of a later start than I normally would. I slept in about 30 minutes because I was tired. So I should be getting there maybe around 9:15 or so. Got 5 authors to meet today. Super stoked, including R.F. Kuang and Chloe Gong. Actually learned my lesson this time and stopped to get breakfast. It is quite the chilly and windy day today and very kind of rainy. So I'm glad we're inside all day. Not too bad at all. This, where I'm walking, is VIP. General admission is queuing over there. Okay, I do have my wristband now. And I am making it to the elevators to go up to floor number 4 so I can drop my stuff off once again. Currently, ADA wristbands they do not ask for any sort of proof or validation or anything like that. I was more than, yes, thank you. I was more than happy to provide it, but they just did not need it. I did have it on my phone, ready to go. It also does not look like the VIP coat and bag check is crazy backed up, which is amazing. So here's a lineup for general admission for hall number 3 on floor 3. We'll only have about 30 minutes before everyone else gets let in, but that's okay.
This was 100% also a fantastic offering for VIP because the exhibitor floor definitely did get crowded once everyone was allowed in. I really enjoyed having that extra hour. I was able to do some shopping.
Okay, we're in. Let's see how much we can see. Hey, how are you? Oh, those are so cute. Look at how gorgeous these are. Oh my goodness. They have like these little photo ops too, which are so fun. Love. Hey. Love. Hey. Good morning. Good morning. Love all of these like publishers. Super neat. We are continuing our exploration. Very cute. These are gorgeous. What a fun booth. Oh, all those cute tumblers. I could never fly home with that. They would break. Oh my gosh, more PJs. They've got banners. Camp Half-Blood. I am so very glad I got my stuff when I did. All right, it is currently 10:22 in the morning. Let's take a look at what the line looks like outside. That is a lot of people. Stopped at the VIP lounge before my 11 a.m. signing to 1, eat the rest of my muffin, and 2, show you I have finished my shopping, totally done, and from my calculations, I have $82 that I did not spend. I was easily distracted by a good mystery. And on the spine it says an amateur sleuth. This mini one, that's for thrillers. It says I like my thrillers dark and twisted, and then on the back it says, or on the side it says trigger warning. With it, pack of stickers. I got to pick whatever bookmark I wanted, so I chose Morley Gray is my favorite color. This shirt, which was $25, and it says we do not eat our allies, but it's the War College. Book Lovers Social Club. Once again, I got a large because it looks unisex, so it looks big and comfortable. The Colorful Geek. That's who they're from. This is so soft, and so is the shirt. I don't know if I just missed the whole big rush, but this seems to be much calmer so far than yesterday. Line to get down is also not as bad. And we're back. This does not look to be too insane right now.
My first meet and greet of the day was, I think, what ended up being one of my absolute favorites. So I did not think to do this at all on day 1, but I am currently working on a book. I say currently, that's loose. I've been working on it since last year. Life has gotten in the way and it's been put on the back burner, but not anymore. Not anymore, especially after BookCon. I'm feeling very inspired, but so on day 2, I decided to ask some of the authors that I was meeting if they had an extra second, what advice they would tell me not to do while I'm working on this book or while I'm writing this book. My first signing of the day was Olivia Blake. She was also the first person who I asked this question to. And when I tell you that she took so many, like still it wasn't an insane amount of time, but she took the time to like fully answer my question and give me some fantastic advice that truly I am so grateful for. She was so kind. She was so in the moment. She truly was like, I would like to give you, like, it was all her genuinely wanting to give this advice, wanting to connect. And it was just incredible. I absolutely loved getting to meet her.
Had to take care of some social stuff for the theater that I do marketing for. Got that posted, and now I'm heading down for my next signing about 15 minutes early.
I then swapped out my books, and then it was time to go meet Chloe Gong, who I also asked the same question to. She also gave me fantastic advice. I was just floored with how kind she was and how willing she was to really pass on, you know, some of her knowledge, some of her information. And it was incredible. I absolutely loved getting to talk with her briefly. And again, so in the moment, so present, so genuinely wanting to connect with the person that was in front of her. She was also just brilliant.
I'm on a mission now. So there's a panel I would like to see some of starting in like 15 minutes. My next book signing is at 2. So I need to run upstairs, trade out my books, and see if I can make it back down here for that panel. I'll probably be a little bit late, but that's okay. 12:21, I've made it up here. Let's hope line isn't super long to switch stuff out. 12:25, swap out is complete. I've got like a minute to spare. Here we are. I think I can go in. Maybe.
This was also one, it was held in one of the smaller rooms, and it was pretty packed. And I'm so glad at everyone who was there, because this was also a fantastic panel. This was such a wonderful panel, wonderfully moderated, great authors talking, and I learned so much. Now, it was also during this that I actually left a little bit early because I wanted to hop over to the Killer Plots, which was a thriller panel. Unfortunately, they were actually fully booked up. And so because of that, I just went back to the other panel and got to watch the whole thing. And I'm so glad I did.
That was an amazing panel, and now I'm in line waiting to get a photo with the fancy backdrop.
It was time to meet R.F. Kuang, who was also fantastic. She was so kind as well. Her line did move a little bit quicker, just likely because of the volume of it. So I did not get to ask her my question, but no problem at all. I was just very grateful to get to meet her. She was so kind. She also was very present, and yeah, she was fantastic.
It is 2:19. I have about 10 minutes until a panel I'm really looking forward to starts. However, I just switched out my books because I have 2 more book signings. My next one is Casey McQuiston at 2:45, so I will really only be able to sit in that panel for a few seconds, go out, do the signing, then hopefully come back and watch the rest of it, maybe. I also have to say a huge thank you to the girl who will probably never see this. I didn't even get her name, but we were standing in line together and we got talking about the shipping that VIP members and premium VIP members have. Now, premium VIP members get, I believe, their first box free. She was telling me how she and her friends shipped a whole ton of stuff yesterday, and I was like, yeah, since I bought like a sweatshirt and that, you know, I might be interested in doing that, but you know, how much did it cost? And she was like, oh, well, for us it was free. And then she goes, hang on, actually, and pulls out the premium VIP card and says, I'm not going to ship anything today, do you want this? And I just checked with them, and I can use it. She just gave it to me because she wasn't going to use it, and that was so kind. So I will be taking advantage of that. I just incredible. Anyway, let's go to this panel. Signing starts in 4 minutes. I'm heading down there now. I got to see the first 15-ish minutes of the panel and I loved it. So I'm really hoping I can come back and catch the end of it. Time check, it is 2:43. There does not seem to be really too much of a line at all to get downstairs.
The meet and greet that I had in between that was getting to go meet Casey McQuiston. She was also very kind. Her line did also move a little bit quicker, so I didn't get a chance to ask her my question. I just didn't want to take up too much time. But again, she was so kind. She was wonderful to talk to. I told her I really liked the top that she was wearing, because I did, and she was very appreciative of that. just another lovely human being.
Okay, that was crazy. I was the only person in line for ADA. Keep in mind, I can't look at my watch right now. That official signing just started a few minutes ago. I am already done. She was so nice. So I'm heading back up to the panel. And just like that, 2:53, and I'm about to walk back into the panel.
I learned so much. It was moderated so well, and I'm going to touch on that even more later. Truly, it was fantastic. This also was another one of my favorite panels of the entire event. I then headed to the Path to Publishing panel, which was also very good. I will say it wasn't exactly what I was expecting it would be, but that wasn't a bad thing. I still had a great time. I enjoyed it a lot. And I did feel like I learned a few things, and I was laughing. It was a good time for sure.
Left the panel a little bit early. This is the Grove. So there's some trinket trading. There's a workshop happening right now. There's a panel happening. I also just got to meet Hannah, who is an Authors fan, and she was also going to be here. I got it's on my other wrist that's currently holding the camera, so I can't show you. But she made me a bracelet, as well as gave me some Disney stickers and book stickers, and a button that says BookCon 2026, which I love. So super excited about that. And she made one for Bria, so I'm gonna pass it on to her. I've got bracelets for the rest of the team that I'm gonna pass on, so love it. Okay, heading down for the final time. I cannot believe that BookCon officially ends in 44 minutes.
My last full event of BookCon was going to meet Victoria Aveyard, and I did have a chance to ask her my question. She also gave me some fantastic writing advice. She was so very kind, and we just had a great conversation, and yeah, it was truly fantastic. I'm so grateful for the advice that she gave me.
And that is it. I just met Victoria Aveyard, my final author. It is 4/27. I have one book I'm looking at to see if I can get. I do think they still have it, because I'm thinking about picking it up. So I want to take one last look around here. So everything at the Ripped Botus booth is 25% off, and some of them are signed by the authors. And just like that, saying goodbye to BookCon until next year. It was announced it'll be April 10th and 11th.
And now we come to section 5. There is a little bit of a section before I talk about the general notes. So section 5 is the very end of my New York trip as a whole. That includes another Broadway show, so please enjoy. I didn't update at all because getting here was insane, but ta-da-da!
Made it to the airport. I start boarding in like an hour. I just dropped off my bag, which I used points for in the app, so didn't actually pay anything for it, but I dropped it off. So now I have to find where their TSA pre-check is. 11:36, I am through security. So that was fantastic. Even if I hadn't had TSA pre-check, I think I would have been totally fine. There are literally 3 different flights going to Atlanta at different times. And back to my car we go. That's it. That is the end of the BookCon New York adventure for the vlog part of this video. I'm already wearing my pajamas that I got at BookCon, and I'm working on unpacking.
And now we move on to the general notes of my whole experience with BookCon. These are going to be pretty rapid fire. I know this video is long already, but 1, as I said, I had a fantastic time. It was everything I could have hoped for and more. Yes, I got all the reservations that I wanted to, but even if I hadn't, there were so many panels that I didn't get a chance to go to because I had these signings that I would have absolutely loved to go to. I heard some people saying at the event, oh, every single panel needs a reservation. That was not true. From what I could remember seeing, the panels that needed a reservation, there were maybe 4 or 5 of them. The dozens of other ones do not need a reservation. So that just simply was not true. People also said that all of the signings needed reservations. Now, a lot of the signings, yes, did need reservations. However, there was a massive list of all of the signings happening that day. If it had a red dot by it, that means it did need a reservation. But there were so many on that list that did not have a red dot by them, meaning that you didn't have to have a reservation to meet those authors. And there were multiple people that I talked to that said they did not have a reservation for the author they were currently standing in line for that I was chatting with them in. One time, a girl even said she got that reservation 20 minutes ago. So reservations were dropping on the day of the event as people dropped their reservations to do other things. I also heard many people say, this is something I did not experience myself. I did not use a standby line myself for any signings, but I had multiple people around me saying that the standby lines did actually work. However, I do believe that staff wasn't as informed as they should be for the event, especially in the autograph section. I 1000% agree that it should have been a little bit more, they should have been given more information. It should have been a little bit smoother in some ways. This honestly makes me a little frustrated. How many people are saying that it was all romantasy? Factually, that is not true. However, I am autistic, so I take the word all very literally. I actually did a breakdown of every single panel that was happening during the event. Now, these are the panels, these are not the signings, and these are also including the interactive events, including the After Dark events that happened on Saturday. So according to my breakdown, which these numbers are probably a little bit skewed, and you may put some of these panels in different categories than I would, because some of them kind of cross over. Romantasy had 7 panels, romance had 5, fiction, just general fiction, had 1, fantasy had 4, classic retellings or retellings of prior stories had 3, Korean media had 1, sports romance had 4, dark academia had 2, YA/dystopian/science fiction, kind of all in that category, 7, LGBTQIA+, 4, women in stories, banned books, and marginalized groups had 4, interactive events/demonstrations, there were 25 of them. Panels that had to do with debuts or publishing or kind of their path to publishing or how writing, kind of works for those authors. There were 9 of those. Manga had 1, audiobooks had 3, thriller/horror had 7, and there were 9 miscellaneous panels that I had trouble fitting into any one of those categories. Was there a focus on romantasy? Sure. That's also what is selling the most right now. So I don't see anything odd with having a lot of panels centered around those genres. I think there was a ton of variety for people to do. Could there be more? Sure, especially if the event does get to expand next year, which I do think would be wise. Then yes, then I think they have more room to expand the offerings, but also it is not cheap to get authors to come and be a part of this event. And so you want to make sure that those panels, those rooms are going to be filled up. Yes, I do believe there could have been better food options. I don't know if that was actually the Javits Center though, or if that was BookCon. If it is something that BookCon has control of, I would suggest that BookCon then adds additional offerings, adds food trucks, things like that, additional ones to their lineup. Something that really impressed me was all of the panels that I went to were moderated so well and they were organized really well. On the one day that I went to MegaCon, again, the only other con type thing I've ever been to, I was a little nervous because the few panels I stepped into at MegaCon, I was not impressed. I did not think they were engaging. The moderators really didn't seem like they were prepared. And to me, it seemed like the event was so large that they had to just get any sort of panel to fill space, and it wasn't like a quality panel. For BookCon, every single panel that I went to was of very high quality, very well thought out. The moderators had great questions. They were very engaged. There was none of that kind of like, ooh, someone doesn't know what they're doing, this is awkward. No, like everything was very, very well done. I don't know what BookCons in the past were like. I was not there. What I've seen a lot of online is people saying that they got a lot of free ARCs and a lot of free books at those other events. That's fantastic. And yes, do I think that would be a great thing to bring back for this? Sure. I think that would be awesome. However, and I'm going to say this, I'm just going to say it. The last BookCon was 6 years ago. What in life is the same as it was 6 years ago? Nothing. Nothing is the same as it was 6 years ago. So to me, we can't expect for an event like BookCon or any other event that hasn't happened in 6 years to be the same as it was all those years ago, especially when what caused such a large lull was a global pandemic. This was especially during like the reservations portion of stuff. I saw so many people say, well, they had 6 years to plan this. They had 6 years to make this perfect and it's not, and blah, blah, blah. Guys, no, they didn't. Just like the rest of us, when the pandemic hit, a lot of us had no clue what was going to happen, what the next month was going to look like, let alone the next few years. So I don't think BookCon knew that they were going to be able to come back. Who knew? So in my eyes, they did not have 6 years to plan this to be perfect. They had 4 years of having no idea if they'd be ever able to do this again. And then sometime maybe in the past 2.5 years realizing, oh, we can do this, we can bring it back, and then starting to plan from there. And when you try something again for the first time in 6 years, you're going to have things that need to be worked out. And that's going to happen. I think there was such this misconception of that it was either going to be exactly like it was all those years ago, or it was going to be perfect, or it was going to be that's not life. That's not how stuff works, because a con or anything that involves human beings is never going to go perfect, because human beings are not perfect. They had to do this in order to be able to make future events better. There's no way you can make something better without trying it again. I think this was a fantastic first run back. I'm so thrilled that they've already announced next year's, which is going to be April 10th and 11th, and I've already checked my calendar and I can make it, and I'm so thrilled, and you can bet that I will be on the lookout and I will be trying to buy another VIP ticket. So big takeaways. I had a wonderful time. I cannot wait to go back. There are things to improve on, sure, but they're going to be improved upon. And things were bound to not go perfectly. That's just how stuff goes. I got very lucky with reservations, but I also think if you are planning to go to any con, any big event, anything in the future, you have to do the pre-planning. You have to do the work. You can't just expect to show up and be able to do everything you want. That's just not how it works with large-scale events where there are thousands upon thousands of people. You've got to do the planning ahead of time. You have to take a look at the maps. You have to know roughly where everything is. You have to plan out your own schedule. What would you like to do? And have some backup plans, because that way you're not sitting there stuck if something doesn't totally work out how you wanted. What an incredible opportunity to see so many readers come together for an event that is just about reading. I think that's so beautiful. My library here at home, I'm getting close to 1,300 books on these shelves. I love reading so much. I love the reading community. I love the writing community. I am so grateful to have learned so much from this experience, not only as an attendee just for my first ever con, I learned a lot of things, but also I learned so much from some of my favorite authors that I will take into my own writing in the future. If you went to BookCon 2026, I hope you had a great time. If you didn't, I hope there were at least a few highlights that you were able to take away from, that you were able to enjoy, and that maybe you're willing to give it another try next year. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. All of my social media is in the description. Love you all.